won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nelles, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Good morning and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Thunder Nelles. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around, does it even make a sound? If you hold a joint practice and nobody practices, did you even practice football? My name's Mitch Nelles. Like I said, he is the kicker, Mason Crosby. And if you need a 40-yard field goal today, there is no one on planet Earth who will bury it straighter between the uprights than Mason Crosby.
Yeah, I could still get a 40-yarder done.
Easy,
no problem.
easy.
Yeah. But does that even happen in these joint practices? I know, did they play football? What was going on? I saw him walking down like a blue path a couple times. It looks like Matthew Golden's a really good football player.
Yeah.
I will say that his route running, and I've said that since the start of camp, I mean, he might be one of the more dynamic route runners this early in his career. I mean, it's impressive. I feel like one-on-one, like nobody can really hang with him. He has been electric. It's been fun to watch. I am a little concerned about the other receivers, though. I mean, that receiver room is all of a sudden who was on the sideline.
They're not available.
Dobbs, Wicks,
and
Reed. Yeah, I mean,
all on the sideline. That's your guys.
Three considered, should be their top three coming from last year, are on the sidelines. Which again, I mean, joint practices, second preseason game. It's like I told you, I read this at the NFL, some medical data, like some of the ways that they decide who needs to play in these preseason games. Okay. These teams are starting to get creative with that. So you got to take some of it with a grain of salt if like these guys are really injured or if it's just kind of like they're hurting and all right, we're going to put them on the medical report. We're going to make sure that they don't have to play in these games if we don't want them to.
Do you not like that? Like for the preseason games, should guys?
Well, I just think it's goofy that if the NFL or the medical, it should just be a team decision. Like, if they don't want their guy to play because of risk injury, situational, whatever, that should be up to the teams. But, now that the NFL stepped in and they said, we are going to put it with medical data, and, if we feel like we want to get these guys looks because of ratings or, fan stuff, that the NFL has any say in it. Now the teams have to do, some of this maneuvering in order to get some of these players done. I don't think it's malicious. They, like I said, everyone's probably dinged up. You could probably say somebody has hamstring soreness every day. Yep. So you could rest somebody, but it starts becoming this chess match of how to operate.
So how do you keep it from getting ridiculous? Like if I'm an NFL team, I don't want guys I don't want guys playing. I don't want guys getting hurt. We talked about bubble wrap last week.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't put everybody in bubble wrap, but some of these teams want to put everybody in bubble wrap.
Yeah, there's some teams that want to see more. I mean, it looks like the Cincinnati Bengals are one of those teams. We talked about them yesterday. That it's almost just throw your guys out there, see what happens.
Well, because of how badly they've started the past couple seasons, maybe they just want to try something different.
They just want to get some juice going, during camp and in these games. But yeah, I mean, solid, well-established programs that have done it well for a long time are just they're trying to protect their players as much as possible because they know what a grind that regular season is.
Yep.
And whenever you're going to the playoffs, perennially going to the playoffs, you know what it takes to get there, and you need those guys, and you don't want to lose any of them in preseason.
So did you see what I wrote on the rundown though? If a tree falls in the forest, did it really fall?
Did it really fall?
Tommy's Mitch, that's
I was going to ask you if that was
good.
the saying. You changed it for the intro, though.
Right. I got it right.
You didn't have to call yourself out there.
But I want. If you can't make fun of yourself, who can make fun of? Right?
Where is this their training camp facility that they're practicing at there in Indianapolis?
I think so. Is it Carmel, or are they in Indy, or they're somewhere in Indiana?
I saw the name. Yeah, but it looks like a beautiful location. I mean, they kind of walk through the trees.
It's still pretty flat and gray because it's Indiana.
Well, true.
I mean, you've driven.
There's some sunshine there.
There is.
The sun was
You've
shining.
driven through that state, though. That's a tough drive sometimes.
Yeah, I
like
did that
long and boring
a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, you just did it.
Yeah, it's like how long am I going to be in Indiana for? Oh my gosh, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, again, this is the second preseason game. I think we're all at that point where it's just like, all right, let's just get out of the preseason. Yep. Let's get to these games that matter. I think you get excited about those first ones because it's football's back. Everyone's excited. Okay. Now we get past that, and it's just like, why are we still doing this? Let's just get into the actual flow of a regular season because it's getting close. But I'm ready. I'm ready for it to ramp up. I'm tired of kind of watching all the nonsense.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Find us on Twitter at the Fan Milwaukee, at Crosby Kicks 2, at Thunder MKE. Are you still into all the storylines, all the preseason, all the who's going to play, who's not going to play? Are you nervous specifically about the wide receiver room? And let's go there, Mason, because you went there a little bit, and let's continue that discussion too. But what are you looking for in terms of week 2? 414-677-1250. Matthew Golden, I think we're all sold on. We're all excited to see what he can do. But then you got, I feel like these three guys are going to be connected forever. Dobbs, Reed, and Wicks, because they're around the same age. We were told that they were going to complete the wide receiver room last year, and
then
clearly
you have Christian
didn't.
Watson sitting and waiting, and I mean he's getting to a place where it sounds like he's going to start on the PUP list, but I mean that's a 4-week list.
Yes, yep.
And then I mean he can come back after the bye week. I think that's probably their plan, right? Is like post bye week. Watson is back in this, in this plan of what we're doing. And then, I mean, are we? I think we were going to maybe save the, the old Micah Parsons conversation for a little later. But I mean, then all of a sudden, Christian Watson comes back. If there's somebody for a trade, if Micah Parsons has been holding out, through the start of the season. Do you do something there at the trade deadline?
I actually have a great theory that I want to run by you in a second. Okay. But let's focus real quick
Focus on the
Reed, Wicks, and Dobbs.
Well, Reed, Wicks, and Dobbs aren't playing this week, so it's like I think we need to talk more about the guys that have opportunities this week.
Okay.
So Matthew Golden might get a couple reps. He just might get a couple throws just in case Jordan Love's not available. Mm-hmm. Get some stuff with Malik Willis. Just let him run those routes. Let him break some guys off with his route running. Yep. Get a couple catches. Just look solid. Take him off the field, and then it's going to be Malik Heath. You're going to try to get Savion Williams, as many looks as possible. I feel like Savion Williams needs way more reps than Matthew Golden at this point.
Yeah, as a guy who's been in and out of practice, it seems like almost every day.
Yeah, and is he available? I don't even know. You kind of have to go day to day if he's even available or not. Savion Williams, then you're going to have McCole Hardman. Just needs. I think after last game, you don't know what he's done day in and day out in practice. It's just hard to really tell unless there's just specific data on what he's doing as a returner, as a receiver. But I think after last game, that those drops and the bad decisions on punt return, he needs to have a lot of opportunity, a lot of reps, because I honestly at this point. And I would love to have an electric player like McCole Hardman on this Packers team, but that is definitely one where he's got to earn the trust, not of just the organization, but of his team and everybody around him. I think that's where he's at, because he's an unknown player kind of in that building, right? Saw what he did in Kansas City. You kind of can see the tape, but he's got to prove it in that building there in Green Bay. Right.
He's fast. No one's doubting
he's
speed.
Got the tangible stuff. Yeah.
Right. The question is, does he have, does he have the football player wherewithal to hang on this team, knowing that, he's done it in the past, like you said, he's done it in the past with the Chiefs, but that doesn't mean he's ready to do it this year, and it doesn't mean with that wide receiver room. But if he can have if he can show something and not make the mistakes he made in week 1, if he can show that he's ready for regular season.
And you know how I feel about that, right? It's like past experience doesn't like guarantee future success. Right. So it's just like just because you've had past success and past experience in certain situations does not just automatically mean that you're going to be successful. Wherever you go, you have to earn it, and you have to do those little things to get the trust and earn the trust of your team, of the people around you, the decision makers, that it's like, all right, when this guy's called on, he's going to get it done, and we can put him out there in any situation.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. And for all the Malik Willis lovers, I think it's time to step up this week with Jordan Love not playing. You just talked about it, Mason. You just talked about the trust of your team, the belief from your teammates. Is this Malik Willis's time to shine? That there's an opportunity here. Like we've seen mixed results. Has the trust. Yeah. Right? We've seen mixed results in preseason, but part of that is we're under the impression that like he's taking risks that he wouldn't take in a regular season game because like you're trying to feel yourself a little bit.
Which you should. Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is the time to do all those things and kind of figure out, all right, can I stretch it here? Can I do a little bit more in these situations, especially in that quarterback position? I mean, you can go out there and sling it around, try to make all those throws, be a little more aggressive. Malik Willis is the backup on this football team, potentially the starter if Jordan's out, It's like, so he knows he can go out there and try to command this offense and take it to where it needs to go. And it seems like, his teammates are really high on what he's doing and feel very confident with Malik.
Yeah, and we've seen that throughout the roster, right? Everybody's talked about that, and
we talked about it yesterday, right? Yeah. And I think Ram called in, and I love his questions. He's always so intuitive with what he's going into. But it's Malik Willis will not start for the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love there. Like it's like he's not replacing Jordan Love.
Nope.
But it seems like from that locker room, and Josh Jacobs talked about it. Like you've heard it from other guys. Like Malik Willis, how he works on a daily basis, like the progression that he's taken from leaving the Titans, and what he's been able to do there in Green Bay. He is a guy that like a lot of these players see as someone that could start in the NFL. He could start on a team somewhere. So the Packers have a great backup, a guy that is viewed as a starter potentially on a different team, and that's a rarity. You just don't get that in many situations. So it's a nice luxury to have for this Packers team.
I know Josh Jacobs.
If you ask me,
there you go.
Oh, there he is.
It's no way that this guy shouldn't be 32 teams starting somewhere. That's just my opinion, the way that I see him on a day-to-day basis. His attributes, the way he uses his mind and things like that. He's a really good football player. So, like I said, we had the ultimate confidence in him. I think he's going to do good. I'm not really too much worried about him.
That's Josh Jacobs, who has brought a level of honesty and outspokenness to the Green Bay Packers that we're not really used to, right?
He likes pumping up his teammates. I love it. Yeah,
yep.
He is a unique player in that locker room where he loves pumping up his teammates, getting out get that audio out there, just saying how good the guys are around him, and he doesn't talk about himself much, which is awesome. And he just is like, you got to watch this guy. He was pumping up Marshawn Lloyd, right? And he was pumping up all the guys coming in, Isaiah Simmons, he's always trying to bring that that positivity and that confidence there, whether it's founded or not. I mean, he's putting it out there, right? So I think it puts everybody on attention where they're like, okay, well, he has confidence in him. And sometimes, sometimes you just got to put false confidence out there too. So you don't even know.
I was going to say, because I remember last year saying if Malik Willis has to start a game, the Packers are in trouble. And listen, if you listen to anything that came out of Tennessee, that came out of Nashville, that came out of the Titans organization, Malik Willis was not an NFL quarterback. And he proved us wrong.
Right.
Like he managed those games against really bad opponents. And
maybe the Titans just aren't an NFL football team.
That could be as well. but I'm willing to to challenge Josh Jacobs a little bit there. I don't think Malik Willis is a starting NFL quarterback. I just don't.
We talked about that yesterday, right?
Yeah,
It's just hard.
I think he could start in a way, again, that manages a really good team. But if you need Malik Willis to win a football game for you, I just don't think that's happening.
Do you think he's still in in that progression?
Right. He could get there.
Again, in the right
Still
situation, like in Green Bay, like he can step in and be that guy.
Yes.
It's a hard spot to step in and be the guy on a day in, day out basis. But hey, as my good buddy Aaron Rodgers said, and I know y'all remember this, whenever we talk about Josh Jacobs, you speak it into existence, right?
Yeah.
There were so many times where it was like Aaron's just like, I'm going to say these things. Everyone might think it sounds crazy, but how often did it actually happen? Like you have to kind of speak it, and then you jump on that process and will these things to happen. So his teammates have his back, all that. Like if Malik Willis believes and he can get it going, who knows? Like in a year or two, he may get an opportunity, and then we'll just have to see how that all plays out.
What if Josh Jacobs would have said Malik Willis is a top 32 quarterback in the NFL? Would you have just said, yeah, I agree with that?
No.
No?
I mean, not at the moment.
Probably
no,
not.
I mean he's not a top 32 quarterback. He's a backup. So.
I mean, I think the Colts
not on an NFL
rocking
team.
with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson would rather take a flyer on Malik
And
Willis
again,
right
they
now.
might look at him, right?
Yeah.
They might be looking at Malik right now in
Yeah.
practice
But
and during these
I'd probably
games.
take Daniel Jones over him. I don't think I'd take Richardson over him.
God,
I just
gross. And then what in
At
New
this
York?
moment,
In New
yeah.
York, they're going to rock with old man Russell Wilson.
You're not putting
this
Malik
year.
Willis over Russell Wilson and
Not all time, but this season upcoming.
Winston.
James is Winston.
The
Jameis
Browns
Winston.
QB situation is a mess,
It's a
too.
yeah,
Do they have
absolutely.
quarterbacks?
They have
too
too many.
18.
But
They
you
have
have-
18, and they're all hurt.
Right, but you add Malik Willis to the Browns, and he's just in that mix.
Yeah,
he's just
like,
in that mess.
Malik
He's not
Willis
better
in
than those guys.
Cleveland, like, just
he might
is
win
a-
the battle,
yeah.
but he's not better than them. He's just adding to mess.
I completely agree with you guys saying that Malik Willis being a guy who wouldn't be on a productive or starting NFL team, I can get behind that. But as far as the top 32 guys in the league right now,
I think he could compete and have a shot.
I think he's a starting quarterback
Right,
in the NFL.
He's
I
competing
do.
and having a
But
shot.
why
but I
didn't
don't
he
think
get?
he's
Why didn't he
better than
compete
anybody.
and get the shot and do the job in Tennessee though?
But you told us why.
Because
Mason. You just told-
that is the
Tennessee-
situation,
because
right?
Tennessee sucked, because
that's
the
why it's like it
situation
has to
sucks.
be the right spot
Right.
in the right situation.
Yep.
That happens though all the time. So this isn't like a foreign idea.
No.
Like you need to be drafted. You need to be picked up by the right squad. Like a lot of players that you make it in this league because you were in the right situation. There are probably very few players that can just be plugged into any situation and have great success. Like that's why that process exists. They talk to you. They understand. Can you fit into the culture? Do you work in that system? And that is why you get picked or go to certain teams. Bad organizations, bad development organizations. Always they make bad decisions. They pick up the wrong type of person for what they're trying to do, and then it never works out. That's why it's sometimes that first or second landing spot is not always sometimes it takes guys 2, 3, 4 spots before it's like, oh man, this is the place that works. This is where I can find my footing and have success. And obviously Malik Willis fell into a great situation coming to Green Bay, being able to plug in whenever Jordan Love got hurt and have success right away. And now it's like, oh man, why did the Titans not figure this out with this guy, right?
And they weren't playing the Lions and the Ravens in back-to-back weeks those weeks.
But they played
Right? That helped.
Texans, right? I mean, Texans defense was ridiculous.
good, but they had just lost Nico Collins. They had no offense.
True,
so
but
that was a battle of attrition.
but he doesn't play against their offense. So.
Right. I know. But if they have their offense and you're trying to come back from a deficit,
Can I also just give you guys the names?
Bring it
Can
back.
you?
Yep.
May I please present you some names here from the Athletic QB tier list, starting at number 25, where I
is
think
this a
you can
ranking?
start.
Because I love rankings.
You can
Yep,
start
power
with
ranking.
this is based on what they had last from former GMs, current GMs, former players, current player. Like it was
like
a whole bunch in there, right?
Yeah.
At number 25 is where Kirk Cousins lands on this list.
Wow.
Okay. Do we think
I think he's better than that.
You think Malik Willis is better than Kirk Cousins?
A team?
No. I think Kirk Cousins.
He's the backup in Atlanta.
Okay.
And
Malik Willis is the backup in Green Bay.
Russell
I'd rather
Wilson.
have Kirk Cousins.
Russell Wilson.
Yes,
Better.
I would take Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Justin Fields.
I would take Justin Fields.
I'm
not even wavering. I'm 1,000%.
Yes.
I actually think Justin Fields can play.
I think
NFL
Justin
football.
Fields has. Yeah, I mean, he could.
Look what he
Again,
did in
the right
Pittsburgh last
situation.
year.
Yeah, he was good in Pittsburgh.
Michael Penix was 28th.
Yeah,
Michael who?
Yep.
What's
right.
that?
Yep. Yeah.
Hey,
Tough.
autocorrect.
I had to.
Correct.
You had to think about that one.
I was like, say the X the whole time.
I might take Malik over Penix right now today.
J.J. McCarthy was 29th.
No, incomplete.
Yes,
I've no idea.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, that's again toss up.
Daniel Jones, Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson are 30 through 32.
I would take Malik over Anthony Richardson.
Yes,
I believe.
yes, that I would.
That puts him in top 32.
Yep.
Spencer Rattler was 33, and he's the highest ranked Saint.
Oh gosh,
I would watch a Spencer Rattler dating show before I would watch because of his big personality.
Do they have Rattler over Shoe? Like they're
Over
who they
Shuck,
drafted?
yeah.
Is it Shuck?
It's it's said like shuck, like you shuck corn, but there's no
it's a GH, isn't it?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
It's got to be ethnic.
I'm calling
Can
him
I say
Shoe.
that?
And
I'm just going Shoe.
Kenny Pickett was 34 as well. That was the
I don't hate
top
Kenny
34.
Pickett.
Oh,
I don't hate
God.
Kenny Pickett.
Dude,
I don't like Kenny Pickett, but I don't hate Kenny.
Just admit that Malik Willis is a top 32 quarterback in the NFL.
So they have Kenny Pickett as a backup at 34.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but why isn't Malik Willis then?
So where's Malik Willis?
He wasn't on this list.
At all.
Well,
So
it's
they
because the
all
other
of them
ones are
didn't
like competing for starting jobs this
Kenny
year.
Pickett not competing for a starting. Oh yeah, he is.
I mean, yeah, he is in the Browns. Yeah.
He's not going to be. Yeah.
He won't be, but yeah, he's competing.
Okay.
Yeah. So all right.
So they have him at 34.
All right,
24 is where it starts with Bryce Young, and I'll take Bryce Young before I take
all
Malik
right.
Willis.
So I would say
Okay.
Malik Willis is right around 30. Now is that top 32? Yes. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah, he is. But he's
I'd say maybe at that 32, 33 spot. Like I'd give you in that. I'll give you 32 and a half just so you're not right.
All right, sure.
I like it.
Yeah,
We'll put him at that half spot.
Right. We'll ignore
414-677-1250.
We'll ignore reason
It's
on
the
this
Nicolay
one.
Law Fan Talking text line 414-677.
You made a good point. Hey, you backed it up, Tom.
Yeah, look at the big brains on Tommy.
No.
Look at that guy.
Just some young.
Sorry,
dumb
you
guy
can
from
finish the
Cudahy.
number
No, it's okay.
414-677-1250.
Where do you
Don't
rank-
forget to come in.
Yep. Is Malik Willis in your top 32 of quarterbacks? How many teams is he starting for? 3 teams? 5 teams? He's definitely in the mix. That's the thing. Like with the Colts and with the Browns, and with the Saints.
If he's at the Browns right now, he'd probably
Right.
be being looked at
But
as a
he's not-
starter.
but he's not
and
about-
then he'd probably play a year and be like, well,
Or not
now,
even.
now he's
Right.
nothing.
Or
Yeah,
not even a
because
year.
it's the Cleveland Browns.
Right,
Like it's
right.
just it's where quarterbacks go to die.
Terrible situations are terrible situations. Yeah, on the show today, Chris DeCateray. Decatery. Like
Yep.
I'm catering something. Decatery.
Decatery.
PGA Director of Golf at Cimarron Hills Golf and Country Club will be joining us today.
That's right.
Joel Erickson, Colts insider at the Indianapolis Star, will join us at the top of the 10 o'clock hour to break down some Packers Colts. We've got some Brewers talk to get to. I have a Packers press release that I want to get to next, though, and then get into Brewers, where they have they announced their game themes for the home games for 2025.
That's
I want to know if
exciting.
Mason knows about these and if he's been invited to the ones that he should have been invited to. And if not, who do we call with the Green Bay
I
Packers?
have been invited to the first one.
You
yes.
have been? All right, that was going to be my question because I was going to be offended on your behalf. You know what? Let's tease it and we'll get to it next.
All right.
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Wirtz, the smartest of all of us.
Yeah, he
because
is.
he knows top 32 more than we do. He's Tommy Wirtz, Mr. Leadoff. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. And I activated my new Verizon phone yesterday.
Nice.
What's up, everybody? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Tommy couldn't even understand your text, though.
That's true. It's still.
Is it the most humble night? Is that what Mason Crosby got invited to? Most humble?
Most humble, yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I created that night.
It's humiliest. It's the Mason.
I created that award, and I will win it every year.
Let's go. I'm over
What's
here,
up?
camera.
What's
Hello,
up?
camera. Hello.
What are you doing over there?
I don't know.
You want
Like,
me to
I'm
bring
here.
us in? Are you distracted?
Yeah, I'm a little. This music is distracting me because I think I'm in outer space. I don't know what's going on. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. The classic rock tune. Ooh, are you? Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is what the Bucks play, actually, when the other team is being announced. Like, who are you? Like throwing shade.
I like that.
The Bucks schedule did come out yesterday. We'll get to that at some point, but not right now. Because a press release just came across my eye from our Green Bay Packers. Packers announced game themes for the 2025 season, and opening day, September 7th. The game will celebrate kickoff weekend, presented by all sorts of people who don't matter, and Verizon. Verizon matters very much. We love you, Verizon. There's a free concert featuring the Black Crows.
Nice.
And then it will also be the team's annual celebration of Packers Alumni Weekend with dozens, literally dozens of alumni from different eras attending, and a special tribute to the 15th anniversary of Super Bowl. What number, Mason? What number was that? Do you even know?
XLV.
XLV, that's right.
Yeah.
XLV is planned. And
Do
so
I even know?
I was going to be so mad if you weren't invited. Like, I was going to be mad on your behalf. I was going to, like, go up and throw eggs at Lambeau if they hadn't invited you. But you got the invite?
I have the invite. We've had a group chat going back and forth on who's going, who's not going.
Jordian?
I don't know if he's going to make
Randy?
it. I don't know if
Randy
I'm
C?
making it. No, Randall wasn't there.
Greg Jennings?
He was
Greg
2011.
Jennings coming?
Randall was the first pick.
Oh,
after,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
James Starks. James Starks going to be there. You don't win that
James-
without James Starks.
Nikki
James
C?
might be there.
Nikki C? Nick Collins?
I don't know. I don't know if
Snack?
Nick's going to be there.
Howard Green? Big
Howard
man?
Green.
Big man in
I
the
haven't
middle?
talked to Howard in a long time. I'd love to see
He
Howard
was
Green.
a big dude.
Oh,
he
he was the
caused
best.
that Nick Collins interception.
I always jumped on his back in the locker room.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
That shocks no one.
Yeah,
Clay?
well, he just kind of had that bat. He just kind of like needed to get.
So is
get
anybody
on
going?
that bat.
Is anybody going from the 2010 team?
I mean,
Like,
I think Sitton and Kuhn will be there.
Okay, well, Kuhn has to be there. It's his job.
Yeah, he's working.
right.
They're paying him
Yeah,
to be there.
he's not going by choice.
That's what I asked
He's
John.
going by
I was like, "Hey,
paycheck.
John, what are they paying you extra to come to that? Like, what's going on? Did they give you a little bump in that paycheck?"
So are you not coming?
I
now?
don't. I have not planned on coming
Okay.
yet. No.
All right.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
wouldn't-
they invited it's like the Super Bowl team, but there's only I think 20 guys that are allowed to come. So,
really?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm like, how do you invite a Super Bowl team and only allow 20?
Are they going to be
people?
like Matt Flynn, quarterback during that time?
Quarterback,
because
Yeah.
Aaron's
'Cause
like going to be playing.
Aaron's busy. Right, he's
I
playing the
think,
Jets that night.
I almost think
Right?
don't
Jets that night?
I can't go back until like everyone's done playing. So until Aaron's playing, like then
Right.
it's like it's not the full team.
Right.
I mean,
Why would you do
He's
it
it,
while
right?
Aaron's
Is he it?
he's the last one?
He's
yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't hold on. I couldn't hold on and keep that streak alive.
Just doesn't make
what a
sense to
loser.
like honor the team where you can't have the quarterback at
Yeah,
it,
the MVP,
Right?
I
Right.
mean,
the
it's
guy
like,
who
yeah.
literally was like all there the entire
And I think
time.
15 years is good, but I'm like 20 years. I'd definitely
Yeah.
go back for the
15,
20. Yeah.
15 isn't really an anniversary. 10 is, 20 is, 25 is.
I know.
15 is kind of a weird number.
I was thinking that like even like Nolan, it's 15th birthday. It's great. It's great.
Oh, happy
but
birthday
I'm
to
even
Nolan.
looking.
That's right. Happy
I'm
birthday,
looking for
Nolan.
cards. Yeah. Happy birthday, buddy.
Did you beat him up this morning?
But I'm looking for cards, and they have 16, they have 10. Like there's no 15 like number card.
Yeah,
I was
15's not a number.
like it's kind of in that weird spot because you can like get your learner's permit, but you're still
Mm-hmm.
like you just don't really have like that freedom yet. So it's a weird birthday, but. All he wanted was a couple hoodies. I mean, I'm like, dude, it's 95 degrees. Why do you want hoodies? Like, what's going on? I guess
right.
it's cold in school.
No, you got and every kid wants hoodies. That's all they want right now. You guys are coming to the October 12th game against the Bengals, right? Like that wasn't that one that you guys were talking about coming to?
Yeah, I might come up to that one. See a couple buddies play on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be up for the Kohler Food and Wine as well.
Whoa.
There.
Is that weekend?
Following week.
Oh, the 19th?
Yeah, kind of Wednesday through Friday probably.
Are we
Just
getting
do a
the
little
invite?
event. Yeah,
we getting the invite
come
to that
down.
one?
Yeah, come up, I guess. Yeah.
We'll drink some wine.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to do like our Crosby's crew. We're going to do a little event
Nice.
and host a little.
I've been seeing some tweets recently.
I know
Some good
Molly's
social
getting
media.
active there on that social media. I mean, we're crushing it.
Taco Bell and wine. There's nothing better, baby.
Yeah, Molly's like, pick up some Taco Bell on the way home. I'm like, what?
What?
Like,
What are we doing
you
here?
pregnant again?
Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
No.
Slow down. That would ruin Elizabeth's middle child status.
Exactly.
That's what that would do. I told that story at dinner last night. Everybody laughed, by the way.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yep. This is
all right, what do you got about? You said you had something for us.
No, that was. I wanted to make sure you were invited to opening night.
Invitees, yeah.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Let's talk a little Brewers though, before we get to Chris Decatur.
Before we go on the green.
Yeah, before we get on the green with Mason Crosby, and let's bring in Mr. Leadoff onto the show. That's Tommy Wirtz. There is no starting pitcher announced for our Milwaukee Brewers tonight.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Does that mean we haven't gotten the press release from the Brewers yet, like the game notes, which is where they often announce who's been activated, who's been demoted, who's been released, who's been all those sorts of things. So the question is Jacob Misiorowski, even on a pitch count, even 2 or 3 innings, is he opening the game for the Milwaukee Brewers tonight?
Come on. Is he? Tell us, Tommy.
I would say if I was a betting man,
Which you are.
no.
Ooh.
That's just my inkling, what I'm like reading around.
So who we got?
I just think it's going to be a bullpen game. Drew Wagner was the one who actually pointed out that the transactions from yesterday were that Blake Perkins was put on the bereavement list, will miss the weekend.
Oh, man.
And then the Brewers
And then Isaac Collins is going to miss probably.
Isaac Collins is going to miss the weekend because he is on paternity leave.
Is he on it, or is it the expectation?
Well, he is going to miss the weekend, is what I have heard. Yeah. So the fact he was doing all this while he was pregnant was incredible. That was awesome. But
classic. You're such a dad. That's a dad joke.
I will say this: Miz is not ruled out. He did travel with the team to Cincinnati, but I don't know. I feel like we would have a little more insider information if it was going to be Miz today. My hunch is just it'll be a bullpen game.
How many?
I would just love if Miz gets the start, comes out, and his first. His first at bat, he throws 102 twice or something. It's just
lets it rip.
Just lets it rip, and it's like, oh my gosh.
So, I could see that, but I'm not ruling it out. But I'm about 20% chance Miz starts today.
Okay, so not that he's stretched out, but DL Hall hasn't pitched since Sunday.
Right.
So DL Hall could go 3 innings.
That's my lean right now.
Which is, a lot of times when we talk about a bullpen inning, it's like, oh, you have a 1 inning guy go. DL Hall pitched 3 2/3 innings on Sunday, no hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So technically, you could probably even get 4 out of DL Hall as your opener today, and see how that goes. In that same amount of time, Andy Ashby's only pitched 1 inning. Now I know a lot of times you want to alternate that lefty and that righty. But Andy Ashby's another guy that can go multiple innings for this team.
So who is that? Is Lockridge going to be at center field then? Is that?
I see, right? Yeah.
They also are bringing up Stuart Baroa and Tyler Black for this weekend.
If they go and sweep this, I mean,
Baroa?
We have to be just losing our minds even more if you don't have Collins, you don't have Blake Perkins,
and you don't know what Miz's situation is.
If you go into a bullpen pitching game and you end up and you win this first one, it's just this Brewers team. All the writing's on the wall that they can go and do something magical this weekend.
Do you think there's any way Miz goes 1 inning tonight? That they start him for 1 inning and then try to get 4 out of Hall? Something like that?
Possibly, I guess. But again, why do that?
Is that
why
just
waste more innings on him? Yeah,
because if you're only pitching 1 and you're getting him ready for next Wednesday in Chicago, wouldn't you rather he at least pitch in a game before you just put him on the mound in Wrigley?
Maybe, but I also don't think Pat Murphy thinks that far down the road. He's a guy who's all about today.
You got to be strategic at some point, though.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to figure out your strategy.
I also think that Pat Murphy believes in his pitching staff so much that he can do the same thing with Misiorowski.
If they tell me
the
he's
Chicago,
good, right?
in the Chicago series, where it's okay, he's going to go 2 or 3 innings in the Chicago series, and then we'll have a bullpen game from there. So I would lean DL Hall today. just based on my hunch. But again, I would not rule out Mizorowski by any chance. Baroa, by the way,
could you put Miz in? Could you put Miz in on that? On the doubleheader day.
Yeah, something. They also get to bring up. They also get to bring up an extra arm that day. You can have an extra man on the roster.
You get an extra.
So that'll probably be Yoho or Myers, whoever they decide to keep up here. And
tell us about Baroa. What's his story?
Yeah, so Stuart Baroa was actually one of the other similar trade. It was a trade early in July that kind of goes under the rug. That he was just traded for cash with the Dodgers early July 9th. Is when he got brought in. He was added to the 40-man roster, so that was kind of my prediction when we knew Isaac Collins was going to be leaving, that we were going to see Stuart Baroa come up, and I was all over it. He's just Brandon Lockridge 2.0. I mean, speed guy, outfielder, plays good defense, and just another guy that kind of fits the vibe of the Brewers right now. So I wouldn't expect him to be up here for long, but as far as a guy to plug and play with what the Brewers have going on right now, Stuart Baroa kind of fits the mold.
Perfect. Well,
all right.
I mean, I'm confident. Anyone they plug in right now, it's just
right. I mean, that's the thing.
It's just like they just seem to have the recipe of whoever they bring into those to fill in those roles, or they just step up, they fit the mold, they do their thing, they're going to run the bases well if they get hits and play good defense. I mean, that's kind of the recipe for this Brewers team right now.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. With the number of roster changes going on with the Brewers, what can we expect with them going against the Reds this weekend? The Reds are hot. The Reds are one game out of the wild card game and a half behind the New York Mets right now. The Mets are just the Mets are faltering.
Apart.
They
1-9 in their
flailing.
last 10.
Yeah, I mean, they are just a mess right now. They lead the league in games in the since the All-Star break that they've led and lost. They've had 10 games since the All-Star break that they've led in and lost. That's big.
Brutal.
That's a big number for 2 months, and they've done that in less than a month, basically.
Yeah,
that's
talk about
that's gotta be hard on your
programs
soul.
going in different directions for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's I mean, I guess you kind of want to see that, but it's tough whenever you watch a team just take a turn, 360 and just or 180. Sorry, they want to get to 360, 180, and just turn and go the other way, and just it's kind of brutal to see, but I mean it's working out for our Brewers in so many different ways. Obviously, we hit them right in the middle of that, or towards the beginning of it, and you just kind of hold your breath and hope that this our club here, the Brewers, aren't going to have any kind of falter like that as well, because
it's true.
You look over there at the Cubs too. It's Crow.
He's been a mess.
He's been disaster, right? He's 2 of 26 in his last 28 at bats.
Stinks.
It's just
Stinks.
can't even. Yeah,
if I were the Cubs, I'd just release him.
Yeah, just
forget
send
that
him,
guy.
Yeah, just send him off for a
National
couple towels.
He can maybe make the national team. Maybe
he can make the sound.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text Line. Let's go to Ken in the Falls. Ken, you're on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
Not in the Falls today. Making my way north. I'm going to play 18 holes at Trout Lake Country Club today, and then do a little bass fishing this weekend up in the Northland.
That sounds nice. That sounds nice.
Love it.
Well, I'm telling you right now, the smallmouth bass are just monstrous, and they're so aggressive right now, so I can't wait to fish tomorrow morning.
Small mouths, big fish.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played Trout Lake over north of Minocqua, Mason, but if you ever get a chance, it's one of the best hidden gem courses in the North Woods.
Oh, I love that suggestion. Yeah, I've played Minocqua Country Club, and then the other one a little south of Minocqua. What's that one called?
Well, there's a few of them, but there's Indian Head down. I mean, there's a few of them that you can play down.
I think it was Hideaway, maybe. I don't know, but
could be, yeah. But anyways, this Brewer team. Last time we talked, it was around the trade deadline, and I thought that possibly they'd trade for a shortstop, find a good shortstop on a bad team. But they decided to stick with Joey O, and so far it's working out, and I think it will as he realizes, what it's going to take for his body to play shortstop every day. That was part of his big deal when he did his interview late May, saying that my hitting is slumping because I've got to learn how to get my body ready to play every day and take all these plays every day so I can be a complete player. And I think he's starting to figure it out. And with that being said, this pitching staff is lights out. And this next run here of games between the Reds and the Cubs is going to be a huge deal, because if you can get up 12 games and you're right at that 30 game to go mark and so on and so forth, then the focus becomes not the division anymore, it's the number one seed. And that's what you want to start preparing for. Make sure you keep your guys healthy. Murph does a great job at that clubhouse. But once you get to that magic inside 30 and you're up a dozen plus, now you can start focusing on the bigger picture.
Right,
yeah.
But Ken, we have respect for Pat Murphy on this show, okay? And so as much as I enjoy and agree that might be a number that stat heads look at in Major League Baseball, we are game by game, we are inning by inning, we are at-bat by at-bat,
That's right.
we are pitch by pitch. We don't worry about, we let all those things work themselves out. How many games up you are with how many to go. Right now, we are focused on the next pitch and the next play and being in the right position and doing all the little things the right way to ensure wins for this team. That's how we focus with our Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, and I don't disagree with that. Enjoy the ride. No two ways about it. But you got to look, you can't look at necessarily today per se when you realize that you're in the big, you're going to be in the playoffs. So and Murph knows this, and as you get to that point, and as veterans know this, it's just a matter of keeping your younger guys in check and making sure that they stay healthy, because those guys are going to be key when we get to the playoffs. You know, your Isaac Collins and your Vaughns and all these guys that are contributing that nobody ever heard of, all these no-name players. And it's just special to have all these opportunities on the MLB network, on the four-letter network, and everywhere else where they're talking baseball. So it's a great thing for the city, the team, everybody involved here, for media, you name it. It's outstanding to have one of the little guys take control of the league, and everybody's watching us.
Amen,
That's right.
brother.
They're getting
Ken,
the
thanks for
recognition
call.
they deserve. Appreciate you, Ken.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's true. Like, enjoy it, and we are enjoying it. But we make sure we don't rest on it.
Yeah, if you didn't have a manager like Pat Murphy, like you honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, it wouldn't be bad if this thing was a little tighter going into the where it's they have to finish,
right?
They have to make sure But I don't really worry about that with how this team's made up with leadership like Pat Murphy. I mean, they are literally going to just plod along. They might end up winning the NL Central, and having a 15-game lead, but it doesn't matter with this squad. They are just going to keep plodding along.
He's Mason Crosby. Coming up next, Chris Decatur, PGA Director of Golf at Cimarron Hills Golf and Country Club, is going to join us for On the Green with Mason Crosby. The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
What's the latest on the PGA Tour? What course do you need to get out and play? What's the latest from the local golf pro? It's time for On the Green, presented by Alice Windows, Doors, and More on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nelles. Presented by Verizon, Milwaukee's #1 network, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Let's go. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. And Mason, it is time for On the Green.
What's up? Hey, Chris, are you there, buddy?
I'm here, bud.
Chris
I
is
am
here.
here.
Oh, nice, man. Okay, well, I've known you for such a long time. I'm so excited that you were willing to come on and talk a little golf, talk about some of your experiences of coming up to Wisconsin and playing. But I kind of just want you to start with, how you got into being a PGA professional, at the club level and making your way up to director of golf there at Cimarron Hills.
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot of ways to end up a place like this. I kind of went from the ground up route. I wanted to be a golf pro probably since I was 14 or 15 years old. Problem was I wasn't very good. But I came out of high school, moved to College Station, wanted to be a Texas A&M Aggie, but didn't have the grades to get in there, and ended up going the junior college route and played too much golf and ended up dropping out of school to become a golf pro when I was 18 years old. And but it worked out great. I started out pulling out golf carts in the morning. You know how that is. You did that here.
Oh, yeah.
Go to school, come back in the afternoon, put the carts up, and then just ended up getting a job offer to go full-time in the golf shop when I was 18 as a young assistant pro in Amarillo, Texas, where I'm from, and spent a few years as an apprentice in San Antonio and then Austin, and then got my first head professional job when I was 25 in West Texas, in Odessa, Texas, of all places, and spent about 8 years there before I moved back to Austin and ran a few different public golf courses before I got into the private club world, and then kind of worked my way up. And about 10 years ago, got the opportunity to come to Cimarron Hills in Georgetown, and been here, and for 10 years now. It's just a super special place, as you know. We're glad to be here. So 37 years now in the business.
Oh man,
yeah.
And you're crushing it, and you do it the right way. I mean, you've been such a great friend to me and our family and my mom's foundation, the Locker. You helped host that event for a long time there at Cimarron, and so we're forever grateful for that. I do want to talk about some of the golf trips you've taken up to the great state of Wisconsin. You've played Sam Valley. Did you do a Whistling Straits trip as well? If you want to talk about those spots and of the differences in the experience that you got playing in Wisconsin, from growing up in Texas, and kind of what kind of the uniqueness of both places are.
Well, I've been up there 3 or 4 times now, and my first time might have been the most memorable golf trip I've ever had, and I've been blessed to be on some good ones.
Nice.
But as you know, I've had some eye issues, right? So, the first issue I had, I'd met you and your dad and brother, and we got to know each other pretty good. And you'd invited me up to play golf in Wisconsin, maybe catch a football game. I'm like, let's go. And then about a week before the trip, or 2 weeks before the trip, I had a detached retina, and I got a bubble in my eye, so I couldn't fly. And so I couldn't make the trip. Year goes by. This is the kind of guy Mason Crosby is. I hadn't talked to him a whole lot, but a year goes by, and I get this text from Mason Crosby going, "How's your eye?" And I said, "It's pretty good, man." He goes, "You ready to come up this year?" Because I couldn't last year. I said, "Yes." So me and a buddy jumped on a plane, flew to Milwaukee, and drove up to Green Bay, and you and I and my buddy played Oneida.
Yep.
And that was on a Friday. And then my buddy and I drove down.
I think you beat me that day too, didn't you?
Well, I was definitely going to bring that up. But.
Yeah, I know. I got ahead of it because I didn't want you to brag about it.
Yeah, it was great. You shoot 35 on the front, I shoot 40,
Yep.
You see 35 or 36. I ended up coming back and beating you by one.
I know. Well, that back nine, I started getting ready for the game. You did. I'm only a 1-9 player on Fridays.
Your mind was elsewhere, but it was great. And then on Saturday, we drove down and got to play Black Wolf Run. And what an amazing place. Holy crap, that was
so
good.
Special, right?
And then Sunday, 3:30 game against the Cincinnati Bengals, my first ever NFL game, by the way. I mean, I'm totally spoiled now, right? Going to Lambeau. And
yeah.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Get to go to the game, sit with your mom, your wife, your kids, and you end up kicking the game-winning field goal.
Let's go.
I do that.
And,
whenever I bring
video,
people come up to visit, I try to make it a good time for them.
It was unbelievable. You run it over, you grab Nolan out of the stands, pulled him down, and it was great. So we go to the house after, and I've got all this Packer gear, right? And you're signing all the jerseys and footballs I bought. And I said, hey, I need you to sign one more thing. And I gave you the scorecard. And you refused to sign the scorecard. That was great.
I do remember that. Oh, gosh.
It was great. And then on Monday on the way home, me and my buddy, of course, we had to stop by and play Whistling Straits before we jumped on a plane and came home. So what an amazing first trip. It's just, I don't know if I could ever top that. But since then, we've been back. We played Sand Valley.
Yeah.
Did a 4-day golf trip up there. It's an amazing place. It was all as good as Bandon, but a lot more affordable.
Exactly.
We went a day early and played Erin Hills. Like, holy crap, Erin Hills!
You've hit all the spots there in Wisconsin.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And this last October, I've got a really good friend here who's a member. And John Kills. He's from your area, but he left.
Punter from Wisconsin. He went to University of Wisconsin and punted there.
He's from Sheboygan, but he left long before these nice golf resorts were built. So he wanted to go. So I took him and a group of guys, and we flew up and we played Whistling Straits again. We played both courses at Black Wolf in Kohler, and then we played Erin Hills again, and then came back home. So we love Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, it's just. What an amazing, amazing place. So every summer I can get up there, we're going. I mean, if it's not every summer, it's every other summer at this point. So one of the coolest places ever.
We got Chris Decatur, the PGA Director of Golf at Cimarron Hills Golf and Country Club in my hometown of Georgetown, Texas, but frequenter of Wisconsin golf courses because it is hot in Texas in the summer, so to escape up to Wisconsin is always a pleasure and always a good thing. But you mentioned that that you had that eye situation, the detached retina, and you went through all this stuff with that. I would love for you to tell the listeners about kind of that journey and then like getting back into playing golf after all of that, and what that took and what that meant to be able to get back on the golf course after such a serious thing going on with your eye, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have issues, have some different things, and it's like you can still get out there and play this great game even whenever you're not 100% there all the time.
Yeah, I mean the detached retinas, they suck, but they're not. It happens, right? I've had 4, and I ended up just I wish that's all I would have had. I ended up having a procedure go bad on one of them and ended up blinding me in my right eye. And so I've been blind in my right eye, and about a year later, I started going blind in my left eye due to complications from that procedure. So they ended up doing an inoculation and removing my right eye. And and luckily from that procedure, a lot of medicine, a lot of good doctors, they were able to save my other eye. So I've got good vision in my left eye and just learned how to play one-eyed. And it's the weird part is, you lose your depth perception. So you
exactly.
Over the it's been about 2.5 years now that happened, but my golf swing, other than me needing a lot of practice, has been okay. When you've been playing a long time and you just kind of have the muscle memory, of swinging and hitting, it's largely unaffected. Where it gets tricky is short game, right? So everybody's usually doesn't practice their short game enough. It's usually our weakest point of our game because we sort of spend it would be technique or lack of practice, but you throw in no depth perception, it's pretty comical. For me, I mean, I might blade it or chunk it or, I just got to really practice a lot and have a nice fluffy lie to chip off of. But
for sure, not hard down there in Texas. That's why you come up to Wisconsin.
I know, right? You get down here, we're in Bermuda grass, and we get in the winter, it gets thin lies, and the Bermuda grass is just can get gnarly. But it's working out. I'm just very blessed to be able to play, and since then I've met, just like you said, so many people that I would have never known that only had one eye. They do an amazing job nowadays with prosthetics, and it's just like, wow, I didn't know you only had one eye. I've got, so we sharing these stories, and now I've got friends calling me when they have friends or family or colleagues that have kind of gone through something similar, calling me, and it's nice to be able to talk to them through the process and give them some encouragement. And I'm like, look, it sucks, but it could be way worse. I mean, there's people I've met that have lost limbs.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I can live with one eye. You know what I mean? I can play. I'm a golf professional. I'm blessed at a beautiful place, but I'm also not on the PGA Tour where I'm trying to put food on the table for my family. That'd be different, but I get to play for fun. I get to play with my friends. I get to play with my members. Drag you down here and let you beat me like a drum, and and just enjoy it. So it's okay. God's blesses, and just happy to be able to still play golf.
Oh, that's awesome. Chris Decatur, the PGA director of golf at Cimarron Hills in my hometown, Georgetown, Texas, joining me on the green on the Mason Crosby Show. I'd like to ask you one more question before we let you go. I know Mitch always has an obligatory one, so I'll combine that for Mitch.
Nice.
What was the favorite thing you ate at any of the courses in Wisconsin that you came up to? And, just what would you say to, any golfer trying to improve their game, working on their game, like as you're giving, when you've given instruction and things like that, kind of where is your starting point? It sounds like it's probably short game, but just jump on those two things and then we'll let you go.
Well, in that regard, it's definitely short game. I mean, you got it's 70% of your game, for most people, right? Or more, right? When you get inside, call it 75 yards, right? You got to learn how to hit it on the green and have one or two putts if you want to get good, right? The chunking and the blading and sculling, and it just ruins your score after you hit a good tee shot and a decent second shot. You're up there by the green and 2 or 3 in a par 5, and you walk away with a double bogey. It's nothing more.
It's frustrating.
Frustrating. So I would definitely encourage people to find ways to make practicing short game fun, because that's one of the reasons I think people don't. It can get boring, but there's so much low-hanging fruit to lowering scores when it comes to putting, chipping, and pitching, and just even wedges. From just learn how to. It's hard to hit a 45-yard shot, compared to a 100-yard shot. That's why people, even the best players in the world, they lay out to a 80, 100 yards because that's their sweet spot. So spending time from 50, 75 yards and in most of your practice sessions would be quickest way to kind of break through and shoot some personal best, in my opinion.
All right, awesome. And then what was your favorite food there in Wisconsin?
It's cheese curds, dude.
Oh, let's go. Yes.
My first time ever eating a cheese curd. And I come back here, and they're not the same.
They're not the same.
No, they're not. That's for sure.
Not the same.
I gotta tell you, tonight we're opening up our new lounge. I can't wait to show. It's the 34 Lounge. 34 Lounge. You know why it's called 34? Mr. Ryan is kind enough to let his name the new lounge after him. And
Nolan Ryan lives in Cimarron Hills there in Georgetown. So,
and I'm begging my F&B team to add some cheese curds to the menu in there. It's going to be
they got to,
great,
yeah. Bring it down to Wisconsinite, get those cheese curds right. Chris Decatur from Cimarron Hills Golf and Country Club there in Georgetown, Texas, my hometown. A great friend of mine. What an awesome story, and I really appreciate you, Chris, joining us on the green, presented by Alice Windows, Doors, and More. I can't wait to come down and visit you, and then I got to get you out here to Tennessee and play a little golf here. So
I heard we can add another something.
Too. Yep, for sure.
Awesome. Look forward to it, buddy. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, really appreciate it, Chris.
Thanks so much, Chris. That's
You
Chris.
bet, man. Take care.
Yep, Chris Decatur, PGA Director of Golf at Cimarron Hills Golf and Country Club, joining us today on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, part of On the Green with Mason Crosby, powered by Alice Windows. Joel Erickson, Colts insider at the Indianapolis Star, is going to join us when we come back right here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. And joining us now on the Mason Crosby Show via the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, is Colts insider at the Indianapolis Star, Joel Erickson. Joel, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Well, it's going better now that with that hat you're wearing.
Yeah, I like
Let's
that
go,
hat.
baby.
All right.
Is that real? Are you a member of? Are you a Brewers fan?
I am a diehard Brewers fan. I am a watch 100 games a year
Wow.
MLB package. My sons and I will probably be in Cincinnati tonight. Almost certainly be in Cincinnati tonight.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic. How did that come about? Do you have Wisconsin roots at all?
I am from Stanley, Wisconsin, which is about 20 minutes east of Eau Claire.
Nice.
Okay.
And I grew up there, and up there people kind of go Twins or Brewers, but I picked Brewers. I picked Brewers, and
you made the correct decision. Yeah, the correct decision. Well,
very wise.
Well, we appreciate that, and as you know, it's been a special year for the Milwaukee Brewers. I was going to say, if you were getting to Milwaukee on Wednesday, you could get your free hamburger from George Webb for winning 12 in a row. But if you're not going to be here, that's okay. We just appreciate the support. And, Brewers fans nationwide are poking their heads out of the holes and letting everybody know who the best team in baseball is.
That's right.
My kids very badly want to do the George Webb promotion. I'm like, it's a Wednesday. You have school.
You can make it happen.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, get it done. Yeah, whatever. I mean, y'all can figure it out. What else you got going on? Yeah, I mean, school doesn't matter. Let's go. Not whenever it comes to sports and the Brewers and getting free hamburgers. I mean, they were rioting in the streets over these free hamburgers. So. But I really appreciate you joining the show. We want to dive into some of this, Colts and Packers, like the joint practices, previewing this preseason 2 game. And my first question to you is, who do you think is going to be that starting quarterback there for the Indianapolis Colts, and kind of what are they going to show there in this in the second preseason game?
Yeah, so Jones is going to start the preseason game, and he's going to get like 2 series. Basically, they're trying to invert what happened in the first preseason game because Richardson started, and then he left on the second series with a pinky, and then Jones played the rest of the first half. They're trying to invert that. It's been really hard to tell what they're going to do once they make the actual decision. To me, it comes down to they're either going to take Daniel Jones is going to be consistent and they're going to know what they want, but there's probably not much of a ceiling there. Anthony Richardson, you can get some big plays on the good side, you can get some really big plays on the bad side. And so it just is going to come down to, I think, what they want out of those things. Because in camp, to me, without being able to know, like, are they going to the right receiver? Are they making the right checks? That kind of thing. They've kind of looked like what I thought they were coming in. And to me, I don't know how you make that decision. It's which flavor do you want?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to not go with a guy like Daniel Jones. I mean, he was one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league for like a moment, right? It was like he got a new deal. He was going to be the Giants guy for a long time, and then that just kind of deteriorated there, due to injury and some different things. So if he can get back to the form that he once had, I feel like y'all might have like a gym there, for this Colts team, but. What did you see in practice yesterday? With the Packers Colts going at it in joint practices. Were there any skirmishes? Were there any moments of tension, or was it pretty mellow and just kind of vanilla, if you will?
It was pretty tame from a fight perspective.
Okay.
There were a couple of little pushes, some light trash talk. As joint practices go, this would have been like pretty low on the list of things. I was watching the Colts offense. I was watching the quarterbacks yesterday. My coworker was watching the defense, and I think Packers fans who've read about this already know this, but the Packers just whooped the Colts offense.
Yeah,
all around, any way you can think about it, they pretty much whipped the Colts offense.
So who stood out for the Pat? Like, I know you're focused on the Colts and what they're doing on offense, but who stood out on the Packers defense? Like, what names? We know via Twitter we know some of the names, but being there in person, who kind of showed up for you from the Packers side of things?
I thought one rush specifically from Lucas Van Ness really got my attention. He blew by Bernard Ryman on the outside. Bernard Ryman is the Colts left tackle. He's very good. They just gave him a $100 million contract, and he hasn't really let much up in training camp so far. And Van Ness just flat beat him around the outside. That's the kind of rush that really gets your attention. Some of the other stuff felt like they were in the middle, it was guys that the Colts are going to start this year who haven't started before, that kind of thing. But that was just mano-a-mano, and Van Ness just beat him with speed.
Nice. We got Joel Erickson, the Colts insider at the Indianapolis Star. You can find him at Joel A. Erickson on X. But yeah, I think that's what all Packers fans wanted to hear is that that Van Ness is doing some stuff out there against the Colts, because I think that's one of the bigger question marks on this Packers defensive front is, are they going to be able to get pass rush? Are they going to be able to affect the passing game with 4 and not have to bring extra rushers to get that done? So, what from your perspective and watching it from the Colts perspective, what do you think of this Packers team? I mean, do they look like they're going to be a contender? Do they look like a team that everyone needs to kind of be on notice with? Just kind of what is your perspective from the other side?
Yeah, I thought that like I said, mostly saw the defense yesterday. I was really impressed with the defense. I'm really impressed with the linebackers' speed. Mm-hmm. Those guys close so fast on the outside. Jones and Richardson are both pretty good runners. Richardson is very dynamic in the running game, and they don't run a ton during practice, but they did a little bit, and it stuck out to me how edge trooper, those guys really just close down the outside really, really quickly. I think that probably helps in the passing game too. Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end for the Colts, is really, really good. He's looked great in camp. He only had 1 catch yesterday. Didn't have the overhead view. I was on the sideline, so I don't know who was covering him, but after watching those linebackers, I was thinking that probably helped out there. I thought the interesting thing was I was standing next to a Packers writer that I know, and he said going into the practice, he was like, they started out running the ball. He was like, yeah, the Packers defensive front is really good against the run. They can't rush the passer very well. And then, and then it was sack after sack after sack.
What was it, like 10 or 12 sacks, I think? Yeah. I mean, it was, they kind of got after it yesterday. So what do you, as far as Colts starters, you're saying Daniel Jones is going to play to start that thing. What do you foresee kind of the starters doing for the Colts? I know the Packers, have a long injury list. Doesn't look like too many of their starters are going to play. But what is your kind of, your thought about this Colts team this year? Are they looking to be better and, kind of take a step this year? Or are they still kind of trying to build something out there?
I think, with this Colts team, they've got the ingredients outside of the quarterback position. It really it feels like a lot of years with the Colts here where it's like, they're going to be able to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. They got him a little help with DJ Giddens so that he doesn't have to carry the ball 30 times a game. Yesterday's practice notwithstanding, the thought going in was that it's going to be a pretty good offensive line because it has been.
Yeah.
And then defensively, I think Lou Anarumo coming in as coordinator is gonna open some stuff up for them in terms of game planning. But that's kind of where we've been in Indy for a long time now. Is just there's a lot of pieces on the rest of the roster, and can the quarterback get them over the hump? And so far, the last time they were able to do that was when Uncle Philip Rivers was here.
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't had anything like that. So that's the thing. It really comes down to, can they get good enough quarterback play to not? He doesn't have to carry this team, but he has to be able to handle his end of the bargain, and they haven't had that in a while.
We got Joel Erickson, the Colts insider for the Indianapolis Star, joining the Mason Crosby Show here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan, Milwaukee. I want to ask about Jim Irsay, the passing of Jim Irsay, and, kind of what – is there a different feel there now around the Colts organization with his daughters taking over and, like, kind of, what – from what I've seen, they want to be heavily involved. Like, his one daughter, wants to be on the sideline, wants to know because she wants to be able to make good decisions for that organization. Have you noticed any changes, or is it just kind of, is it running the same? Did Jim kind of raise his kids up the right way to, kind of run that thing the same way he did?
I think there have been so I know that there's been some changes behind the scenes, kind of like staffing, that kind of thing. Not anybody that Packers fans would know or anything like that, but I think the biggest difference is just going to be Carly his oldest daughter, Carly Ursay, is going to be the one responsible for football. And Carly is not going to be as visible publicly as Jim was.
She's not going to be out there. Yeah, Jim liked to get out in the media.
Yeah, but that's I mean, Jim, outside of Jerry Jones, I think Jim was probably the most public owner in the league.
For sure.
That's not necessarily that. Like we were all kind of expecting that. I think there's a little bit of a question. People are wondering, does this mean that there's a potential axe hanging over Chris Ballard's head at GM, Shane Steichen, because Jim really, really believed in Chris Ballard. He really, really believed in him as a general manager. He defended him, all the way through a couple of different times when fans wanted him fired. Everyone's just kind of wondering, what's Carly thinking there? And unlike her father, I think unlike her father, she kind of plays her cards a little closer to her vest. Whereas Jim would just lay it out there for us.
Very emotional guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, and that's interesting. And I could see that as well. I mean, anytime there's a change in that leadership, obviously in this situation, very sad with the passing of Jim Irsay, but just the fact that there's a new set of eyes. Like, she's going to have a different perspective than Jim did on that as well. Something that I saw too yesterday, and I don't know if it was apparent there from the sideline watching. They all had shirts on. Coaches had shirts about the erase the stigma of the mental health stuff. Was that kind of a big narrative in the day, or was that just kind of pieces there around the fringe of practice?
That's present here all the time and has been for several years since they established it. That became Irsay. Jim Irsay did a lot of philanthropic efforts, did a lot of charity stuff, but the one he cared most about and put the most into was this Kicking the Stigma mental health initiative. And it's kind of always present with the Colts. You end up, because the franchise is open and accommodating and understanding of mental health issues, you hear more from what players are going through. Back in March, I did a story on right tackle Braden Smith, who went through severe OCD issues last year. Yeah. And the team helped him through it. He was able to find an answer, that kind of thing. That he said in that story, this might have gone differently in a different organization, but this one is built on that, and talked a lot about, players don't talk a lot about mental health type issues.
Yeah, struggling with things. Yeah.
But in Indianapolis, they've made that a cornerstone piece of the organization, and so I think them doing that, the Packers joining in on that, it just kind of goes along with what we see, where that's always a part of the fabric of this team, whether it's face forward or not.
We got Joel Erickson, the Colts insider, the Indianapolis Star, the Mason Crosby show. Yeah, I mean, I love that they joined in on that. It looked like they were writing notes to the people working in some of those spaces, and to patients or different people that are struggling, just to give encouragement, which is such an important thing. So let's shift gears. You are a Brewers fan, and I know, so obviously I know you're watching. You said you're a diehard, so we can dive into that real quick, and I know our listeners will enjoy that. Just obviously what the Brewers have been able to do, but you said you might sneak up to this Reds series, or at least see one of the games there in Cincinnati. So what are you seeing here? They still haven't announced their starting pitcher, so we're not even sure what's going to go on there. We're hoping maybe Miz gets maybe an inning or two and see what happens there. But just talk a little bit about what, from your fan perspective and being there in Indianapolis, watching this Brewers team from afar. Like what has this season been like for you?
So in Indianapolis, like when I go on the local sports radio show here, that's usually what we talk about. Like, I'm introduced as the Brewers fan in Indianapolis.
Nice.
Yeah,
keep
like
it strong.
It should be.
This is Cubs territory. This is Reds territory. So I'm in enemy territory down here.
Good.
And early in the season, I was hearing a lot from the Chicago side of things. I was hearing a lot from the Chicago side of things. My buddies down here are Cubs fans. I was hearing a lot from them. I haven't heard as much lately. I haven't heard as much from those guys lately. My kids and honestly me as well are hoping that what everybody's been saying, that I think I saw Kurt Hogue from the Journal Sentinel said that the Miz is in Cincinnati. So really hope
that is correct. Yep.
Really hope that is going the way they think it's going to go, and we're going to see him tonight. We go every time they're in Cincinnati at least once.
That's awesome.
I think the only time we haven't was kids had 3 games of their own and stuff they couldn't miss and stuff like that. It was a midweek type thing. But yeah, we usually go. They like to sit, either depends on the lineup. Sometimes we don't get the tickets until we see the lineup, because if Yelich is in left, they want to be in left.
Nice.
And if he's
that's a good segue. That's a good segue for my next question, because we asked this to each other, and we kind of had a nice little back and forth. I guess that was yesterday.
Yep.
On who is the best player on this Brewers team. Either right now, just kind of if you look at this Brewers team, who's the best player on this team right now?
I think it's probably Churio. I think obviously he's hurt right now, but I think Churio when he gets
best baseball player.
Yes, when he gets white hot at the plate, we kind of saw it right before he got hurt. He's got the speed. He can play center. He does all that. He does all that stuff. I think that sometimes, you watch MLB Network and stuff, and they're talking about the Brewers don't have any guys. I'm like, Jackson Churio is pretty good.
Right, they got some guys.
They have some guys.
Pretty good. William Contreras is pretty good.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about some of the. I get it. It's the average Joe's thing. Pat Murphy's playing that up. You got Isaac Collins and guys that people haven't heard about doing good stuff. But this is a team with some really good players. Jackson Churio is pretty darn good.
Joel Erickson joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. Colts insider at the Indianapolis Star. Do you have an NBA rooting interest? Are you Timberwolves? Are you Bucks? Are you have you been brainwashed by the Pacers?
This is really strange, but when I was 5 years old, I decided David Robinson was my favorite athlete ever.
There you go.
So
okay,
I'm a Spurs fan.
Nice. Come on down to Texas. That's my neck of the woods. Yep. About an hour and a half from my hometown. So yeah, I was a big Spurs fan growing up.
Yeah, it was David Robinson. I don't know if it was it's hard to remember now. I don't know if it was I got the right basketball card or the right thing, but I had an Admiral poster. He's dunking and there's a Navy ship in the background.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool.
I mean, I think you could have worse people to follow than David Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he's a stud, and just obviously his naval background. Just what an amazing person and a great basketball player. I love that you're a San Antonio Spurs fan, man. Brewers, Spurs. All right, Joel, you're my new favorite person there in Indianapolis.
I love it.
Sounds
That's
good.
great.
I love hearing that.
All right.
Put it on the calendar now. Saturday, March 28th. It's a 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon game. Spurs at Bucks.
There you go.
Okay.
So make your way to Milwaukee. We'll figure out some tickets for you.
Hey, absolutely. Sounds great.
Nice.
All right, buddy.
Well, Joel, thanks so much. I know you got your work cut out for you covering the Colts this year. We'll see how that goes. Do you get to go to Berlin?
I do get to go to Berlin.
Nice, yeah. So November 9th, taking on the
That'll be
Falcons, and Michael Penix with an X.
Yeah. I saw that.
If you saw that
Gosh.
typo, just making sure
I
everybody
feel like they
knows.
did it on purpose now.
I still think it was autocorrect.
They do it on purpose now because now it's being talked about. Their ratings are up.
Anytime there's an editing fail like that, you can bet every writer is texting everybody they know.
Yep.
Check it twice now. Check it twice.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Right.
I mean, let's go. All right, well, Joel, thank you so much for jumping on today, and we'll definitely check in with you. And now that we know you're a Brewers fan, you're going to be one of our national Brewers insiders.
There it is.
That eye from another market, keeping us, because we're so used to being on the inside. You're going to keep us updated from the outside, what everything's looking like.
I love it. I would love to be the Brewers insider for another market. That's fantastic.
There it is. Mr. Brewer there in Indiana. I love it. All right, man. Really appreciate it. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. That's Joel Erickson joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Remember, Football Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Mason did not see that coming. Like he jumps
Brewers
on the YouTube,
hats.
right? The YouTube channel right away at the Fan Milwaukee, rocking the Brewer. I mean, let's go!
I know. What a pleasant surprise. We get to talk a little Brewers, a little extra inside baseball talk. With someone from Indiana there. I love that.
I love making new best friends.
Yeah, unexpected.
Friends are great, but best friends are the best.
Exactly. I mean, he covered supports two of my teams. So I think that's always a solid thing.
Absolutely. So Joel Erickson, again, thanks to him for joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. We've got some news and notes, just kind of like heading into the weekend, all the things going on this weekend. Micah Parsons not wearing green and gold yet, but any minute, right?
Yeah.
Any minute. I actually have
let's
a theory.
Get crazy out there.
I have a conspiracy theory on Micah Parsons as
let's
well.
all have an idea of what the Packers would have to put into a trade to get Micah Parsons.
Ridiculous. Still no starting pitcher tonight for the Brewers. Maybe the Miz, probably DL Hall. One of the two of them I would bet on. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Friday.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Live from the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And Rebecca Black has taken us into the weekend where we are partying, Mason.
Partying. Yep. After the show, I'm going to take Nolan. Molly and I are going to take him out to lunch. That's what he wanted for his birthday.
He had to skip school on his birthday?
No, it's lunch. It'll be in his lunch break. Yeah, we'll take him.
Open campus? Or do you have to sign him out?
We can sign him out, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you just sign him out, take him to
lunch.
lunch.
Are good parent, like during a school day?
Well, I mean,
he doesn't get like birthday dinner. He doesn't get tomorrow.
Well, he has a scrimmage tonight. I mean, it's like a whole weekend. I mean, our kids are spoiled rotten, man. It's like, he's going to do Top Golf on Saturday, and then we do like our family dinner on Sunday night. So I mean, I don't know. Wow, it's crazy around here.
That is crazy.
Yeah, you want to be a Crosby kid. You want to be a Crosby kid over here.
Packers and Colts playing preseason game 2 tomorrow afternoon. They had their scrimmage yesterday in Indy. Packers beat writer Ryan Wood of the Green Bay Press-Gazette will join Sparky this afternoon at 2:40 on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, to talk about everything going on there right here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. Micah Parsons still not playing, not going to play. I want him, Mason. I want him on the Packers. I got to be honest. I know the Packers defense was absolutely amazing yesterday at joint practice against the Colts. The defense was, but I'm here. So I have a theory.
I don't think you can have too many. I don't think you pass if it's an opportunity.
Right.
There.
Thank you.
Here's what I was just thinking in the break. I was like, okay, what would it take? You give a first this year, first next year, and maybe they even send us back a third round pick.
Sure.
And then you offer Jerry Jones 200,000 shares of stock. We talked about what it would be if you sold the team. I mean, like that inflation, the next stock share sell off that they do. That's probably going to be $300 a piece of paper. Yep. I mean, that's $60 million down the road if the Packers ever sell. That's $60 million in Jerry Jones's pocket. So, I mean.
Well, as you very well know, Mason, the Packers play at the Cowboys Sunday, September 28th, night game, NBC game.
There we go.
The Packers then have a bye the following week. If Micah Parsons is not playing for the Dallas Cowboys by week 4, if he is still holding out, I think Jerry Jones has that game circled on his calendar. He knows he's not trading Parsons to the Packers before that game because there's no way he'd let him come back to Dallas wearing a Packers uniform. But after that game, next week, Jerry Jones and Brian G are going to have a couple phone calls about Mr. Parsons. That is my prediction.
I mean, we said that I think at the beginning too, right? Because that's when Christian Watson can come back.
Yep.
Like you kind of have, all right, what does that wide receiver room look like? Maybe the Dallas Cowboys need a wide receiver, and then
they did get
that room is pretty deep in Green Bay if they're all healthy. Christian comes back, and it's like, all right, do you move one of those receivers down there to kind of sweeten the deal to get a Micah Parsons?
Yep. We do have a little breaking news here from the world of college sports. I know that this is the segment we usually talk about money in college sports,
right? Talk about it, yeah.
Michigan, the penalties for Michigan came out for spying. 4 years of probation, $50,000 fine. $50,000 fine, plus 10% of the budget for the football program.
Oh, okay.
So I think that one's bigger.
Yeah, because you said 50,000. I'm reading the headline: Michigan's major fine. I'm like, what?
A 25% reduction in football official visits during the 25-26 season. 14-week probation on recruiting communications in the football program during the probation period. Connor Stallions gets an 8-year show cause order restricting him from all athletically related activities during the show cause period. Jim Harbaugh gets a 10-year show cause order, which will begin August 7th, 2028 at the conclusion of his 4-year show cause order from a previous case. So Jim Harbaugh can't be involved in football for the next 13 years or something?
See, but isn't that that kind of stuff kind of irks me, right?
Yep.
Because if a player got these infractions or things like that, what options do they have? Like,
well,
if
they didn't ban them. They didn't ban them from postseason because they didn't want to.
I get that, but like, if you're a player and like you do something and like, okay, you're a freshman and you get in trouble, but you were going to be in the NFL at some point, like you can't, and you get banned from the NCAA, you can't just go to the NFL then. Like Harbaugh just was like, oh man, this is a disaster. Like all these things are brutal, so I'm just going to leave and I'm going to go get an NFL coaching job.
Right.
Like it's kind of wild.
But players can do that now too, in a way they couldn't before. Like players can't leave today.
But I mean, not
they
if
can
you're
go to other schools.
Not if you get in like infractions like under NCAA. Like they couldn't go to another school.
You mean if players? Oh, right.
Like if something happened to a player, like in this serious of a situation where they get these infractions, it's like you're not going to just be able to go somewhere else. Your career is essentially over.
Well, that's a good point. But and I don't think we see players get into this kind of trouble though. I mean, this is mostly coaches and assistants and administrators.
Well, this kind of thing, yeah.
Right.
Like,
so,
but I mean, players get get in trouble for different things.
Well, maybe they should.
And then
maybe they should get in trouble for certain things.
Well, they should, but they but why can a coach be that blatantly like disregard rules and things like that, and then just be able to leave and go somewhere else? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get like they don't control the NFL. NFL can go and hire whoever they want, but it's just like, all right, he's going to go to the NFL for a bit, and if like in 10 years he wants to come back and coach in NCAA, he can probably do that.
But it is similar to like how you can just work for different industry. I mean, you are a part owner of an ownership group for a soccer team or for a number of soccer teams, and let's say you got in trouble for something, and that soccer ownership group kicked you out because you couldn't do it. You could just join another ownership group if they would take you.
They wouldn't take me.
Well, maybe they wouldn't, but maybe maybe a Major League Soccer team would, or maybe a football team would, or maybe a minor league baseball team would. I mean, you'd still have options to do like to be involved in the sports world.
I just say that doesn't happen like in other spaces the way you probably think it does. Like if you are if you get in trouble in business, if you get in trouble in business, you do, but it's like even if you have the money, like the money might not be right. I mean, it's they just will be like, we just don't want to deal with this. But because of how NCAA, NFL, like I get the differences there. It's like, all right, that has nothing to do with the NFL. So like you can go and do that, but it's just a unique situation more than anything.
Yeah, but you say that about Harbaugh.
Whatever.
You say that about Harbaugh, but I don't think Connor Stallions is getting other jobs. Like, he's not good enough. Like, nobody cares about Connor Stallions. He has screwed himself. Like, he is not getting another job at the level that he had. Jim Harbaugh is, because he's proven he's excelled in other, like...
By cheating.
By cheating. Not in the pros. Not in the pros. I mean, maybe he has. But
who knows? Maybe that's why he went to college, because he was... he was doing, bad things there,
or he just wanted to go to his alma mater and win a national championship and realized he could cheat and maybe get away with it there.
I mean, it's literally just Pete Carroll 2.0 again right now.
You just
like,
bounce back and forth as long as as soon as everything gets a little heated.
But Belichick got another. I mean, he's coaching and he wasn't even he didn't even lose his job.
There's going to be a headline in like 6 years when Jim Harbaugh gets fired over there and he's going to go coach like Northern Iowa or Iona or whatever, and he's going to be an NAIA coach, and then we're going to get dumb updates on what's going on with that because of this whole situation. He will be in football in some case, however it is, but because
he's valued at that level, where like a guy like Connor Stallions isn't.
You do whatever you want and bounce around as long as as long as you're good enough,
or NCAA disbands Jim Harbaugh's back in college football sooner.
He's coming back.
He's going to come back.
No, he doesn't need to come back. He's coaching in the pros. He's happy.
Well, yeah, until the Chargers overrated team right now too. That's going to be a team that they can rely on him for now, but if Justin Herbert doesn't take a step, then they're going to be talking about the same thing.
I think it's what Jim Harbaugh does. He sucks a program like dry, like gets everything he can out of it, and then he bounces. Like, I mean, that's like 49ers. He maximized his time there. Like, they were kind of on the decline as he was on his way out, and he left. Goes to Michigan, takes it, cheats, does all the stuff, and then leaves. And then it's like...
I think it happens way more in the business world than you think, Mason. I think people get in trouble with their current company or do something wrong they pay the fine, or maybe they serve jail time. But when they get out, they more often than not, if they're at that level of being literally the top
You think
of their
someone
industry.
serves jail time and then they're going to come back?
Jim Harbaugh didn't sign jail time, but
that's an extreme.
That's an extreme. But if they
Jim
do something
Harbaugh
wrong,
is the guy behind.
should Jim Harbaugh serve jail time for what he did at Michigan?
Connor Stallions
No one's
is the
saying that.
lady in front, while Jim Harbaugh is the guy behind at the Coldplay concert. That's what it is right now. That's all it is.
That's right.
Yeah, yep. He'll land somewhere, right?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, that guy will figure it out. Like, that guy's not going to be, homeless. I'm not worried about that guy at the Coldplay concert.
Wasn't
Like,
Connor
he'll figure
Stallions
something out.
also like already coaching at like a high school or
Right.
something?
Sure, of
like
course.
he'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll
But do
make
you
enough
think,
money on
like,
that Netflix stock.
So you don't think like that kind of like infraction that CEO or whoever that guy was, like you don't think there's going to be a stigma and
Oh,
people
for sure.
might
There's a
be
stigma.
a little weary of bringing him
Absolutely.
on
People
board.
still
all it
haven't
takes is one
forgotten the
company.
Astros,
Right.
right. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, ethics and sports do not mix at this high a level. I don't
business- or
understand.
business.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's just like when you get
We
to
live
these
in America.
points,
The winners win.
like people.
That's it.
There is no ethics in college athletics. Like it just doesn't go hand in hand. If you want to win national championships, like you got to do something along the way that is not different. Like it's different, right? I mean, I'm
Well,
still
you got to
waiting.
push it to the edge for sure. But
I'm still waiting for the Dabo Sweeney dirt. Like I will die on that hill. That there's no way he's that nice a guy. Like I'm just not. It's not going to happen. It
you're
doesn't.
still
It hasn't
waiting.
happened anywhere
It's going
else.
to fall sometime.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I still have faith in humanity.
Oh,
That,
God. I mean,
that's, some
that's your
people,
first
some
problem.
people,
Yeah.
do it the right way.
It's cute. It's cute.
It
We
is cute.
appreciate that.
I'm a hopeful guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't been broken down yet, and I've been in this space for a long time, and I still have hope.
Well, you've probably seen it firsthand too.
Well, I mean, I saw
the
we
NFL
played-
level,
I mean, we
like-
played the Patriots, so
Right.
yeah. Well, I mean, we saw them cheating all the time.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you got to see like the stuff that you would do, like as we were practicing the week before playing the Patriots. I mean, there'd be a plane flying by, there'd be anything, and it's just like everybody was
there's a
was on
Patriot.
high alert.
There
Just
they are.
imagine everyone hitting the ground.
Just it
after,
literally, it was like, all right, just run in different directions. They won't know what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We're in the Fan Studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Mason, what do you got going on this weekend, man? Or do you want to save that for extra points? It's up to you.
What do I got going on? Well, it's a busy weekend like always, but it's mainly
Sounds
about
like a
Nolan.
lot of Nolan.
It's a lot of Nolan time. Somehow we agreed to have 17 kids spend the night on Saturday night.
That
17
sounds horrible.
teenage boys.
That sounds horrible.
gonna
And
I'm like,
so bad.
Yeah,
It's
smelly.
smelly. I'm not sure where they're sleeping, and I'm pretty
Outside.
I'm just so
Outside.
scared of a liability situation. I mean, these boys are going to be nutso. So we're just hold your breath.
Just get them a lot of Mountain Dew and gummy nerd clusters.
Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah,
help.
Perfect. Yeah, the kids will love that.
Ugh,
I'm on my way
crazy.
to Palo Alto and San Francisco for a
Yeah,
week.
when you flying out?
Tomorrow morning.
Nice.
I'm gonna miss you
Safe
guys.
travels. I know.
I'm kind of bummed. Like, am I gonna call in every day for a Brewers update? Like, obviously I'll be watching. You know what I am excited about? So I'm super bummed that I'm missing the celebration for Bob Uecker next weekend here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But it is against the Giants. So I'm excited to walk around San Francisco all week wearing my Brewers gear, just shoving it in Giants fans' faces.
There you go.
Just like, what's up, what's up? Like, we have a real team. You guys are scrubs.
Don't step in human poop along the way
Well,
there.
I try to do that anyway.
fair,
like that.
fair enough. Good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
Yeah.
Watch the needles.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh my God, you unbelievable. So the Brewers did send out a press release about next Sunday, the 24th. There'll be one-of-a-kind Uecker memorabilia on display, stuff in the team store. Gates are opening at 10:30. The fans are being encouraged to be in their seats by 12:15. Bob Costas will be hosting the program. A ton of special guests will be there. All sorts of retail items. Again, it's going to be an absolute blast. There's a uniform patch that the players are wearing. So if you have tickets for next Sunday, that is the 24th, a week from Sunday, it's just going to be an amazingly special day at the ballpark for our entire community, the entire Milwaukee Brewers family. It's going to be, and honestly, I don't know that I love AI, but the pictures that I've been getting of like Bob Uecker with like the angel
The
halo,
George Webb,
eating the George Webb burger with the
pretty
Miller
awesome.
Lite,
Yeah.
that is everything. Like that's
It was really cool.
If this special is happening because Bob Uecker has a hand in it from above, I mean, I'm on board for that because that is like all the feels.
Yeah, I mean, do it for Uke. That's what this season's about, and they're doing it with the power of friendship. So, I mean, it's just all the things there in Brewers Nation, and we're here for all of it. And yeah, it's going to be an awesome celebration next weekend. And the hope is, who knows, they might just keep this winning streak alive through the whole thing. You go and sweep the Cubs. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the world might be coming to an end at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we're like, honestly, I think like Earth would or not explode, but like we'd all end up floating in space, like in this Milwaukee bubble of partying and excitement and just
the
pure
euphoria
joy.
It's just like it's
utopia.
an all-time high.
Utopia will take over Southeast, all the entire state of Wisconsin, and every Brewers fan worldwide. It would just be absolutely amazing.
And that's what we want.
Yes. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. The Brewers do play at 5:40 today. It is Apple TV Plus only, so figure that out. Ask your neighbor for their login or go to Potawatomi. Go watch the game at the sports book. Get a burger, get some wings, get some cheese curds. Go watch the game at Potawatomi. It's going to be a blast. Brewers starter still TBD, taking on Nick Martinez, who's been pretty good for the Reds. Okay, I guess. Quinn Priester pitching tomorrow. Jose Quintana is pitching on Sunday before, of course, that big doubleheader against the Cubs on Monday. Remember, you can listen to any of the Mason Crosby Show wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, whatever. Just search the Mason Crosby Show, hit the follow button, get every minute of the show your way and on your time. Mason's extra points to wrap up the week are next.
Yeah, they are.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today? It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nelles on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Great show today, guys. It is Friday. The weekend is upon us. Thanks to Chris Decatur for joining the show on the green, PGA Director of Golf at Cimarron Hills Golf and Country Club in my hometown of Georgetown, Texas. Joel Erickson, which we didn't know was a diehard Brewers fan,
Yes,
which
sir.
is awesome, and
Yes,
our new
sir.
favorite Indiana person. Yeah, they were awesome. It was a great show. I did send out, and boys, Premier League starts today.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so I am juiced. I sent y'all an invite. We'll see if y'all join on. I'm trying to get these boys involved in soccer. If anybody, I don't know, if anyone wants to write in, they want to send out an email or whatever, I mean, I might join you, maybe could join our league. I don't know how that works, but, I'm putting together a fantasy soccer league there for the Premier League, which I love, and I'm hoping that Tommy and Mitch will jump on, even if they don't know anything. Maybe, they can get lucky and win something.
I'm Googling right now that it looks like Manchester United is who you would hate the most. Is that
I hate
correct?
yes.
Yeah, okay. All in
Really?
on Man U,
More
guys.
than Man
this year.
City?
All in on
No.
Man U, guys.
It's probably Everton. Everton's like Liverpool's, kind of nemesis. They're right across the river.
Yeah.
What about Leeds United?
No, I like Leeds.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I like
Those
Leeds.
top 10 fiercest rivals, not rifles, in
Rifles.
Liverpool's history is what I'm
I don't
looking
know.
at.
I like the Leeds story. Like if they have a great documentary. The actor from a lot of those British movies. He's kind of shaves his head. He was in the one with Brad Pitt. What was that one that they?
Jason Statham.
Yeah, no, not Jason Statham. I'll think of it next time.
Okay, all right. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
We're just naming
Ruffalo.
names.
No, but he was a defender for Leeds back when they were actually, really
Robert
dominant.
Downey
And guy
Jr.?
just battled everybody. My brother would know. He's the expert there in this in the soccer space and then the names of players. But I hope everyone has a great weekend. Nolan, I wish you a very happy 15th birthday. I'm so pumped to be your dad. I can't believe I've been your dad now for 15 years. You were our first, and you are my only son. So, so happy and proud to be your dad. I appreciate you, buddy. Enjoy the weekend, and we will be crushing it all weekend long, celebrating you, bud.
Love it. On the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line real quick. OMG Thunder, what vacation? You were off eating for the last 2 weeks at the State
Yeah.
Fair. Says T in Pewaukee. I love that. And then 262 says, can Mason Crosby still make a 60-yard field goal? For sure a 40. For sure a 40.
I mean, with a 60-degree wedge, probably.
Right, with the wind and in Denver or in Boulder.
60 might be a little tough, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just start training again and see where I can go.
Just don't kick any of those empty wine bottles that you've got going on with Crosby's crew.
You saw that, the
I
wine
did.
glass field
That
goal
was awesome.
through the wine crates. Yeah, that's more my speed now. I'll keep doing that kind of stuff.
Nice. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. I will check in from time to time next week during my trip out west, and I can't wait to get back. And when I get back, it's like all systems go. Packer season,
Yep.
Brewers, everything. This
We're
has
right
been
on the cusp.
Yeah, cannot wait. This has been the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Everybody have a great weekend. Later. Burgers.